Hi everyone, today I'm going to be discussing about Real Madrid's transfer window so far, our transfer dealings and the situation with our squad. So first things first, we bought Aurelien Tchouameni from AS Monaco for a reported fee of 80 million euros and 20 million add-ons, and we bought Antonio Rudiger from Chelsea as a free agent. So there was no transfer fee involved there. So far, this window we have spent, you can say 80 million euros because 20 million euros the add-ons were performance related. And if our the rumors and the reported fees from last season were any indication, we have a transfer budget that we wanted to spend on Mbappe. And even this season, when we were hearing that if the Mbappe deal goes through, the Chouameni deal won't go through because Real Madrid was focusing only on Mbappe. If we get that over the line, then we were telling Tchouameni to hold on for another season, but that was never going to happen with Liverpool and PSG circling around Tchouameni. So I think even if we didn't get Mbappe, it was somehow good for us that we got Tchouameni because we didn't have valid replacement for Casemiro for a long time now. Whenever Casemiro wasn't fit or Casemiro was fatigued, we were in a position where we had to look for change of system a little bit because no one in that midfield can play the Casemiro role. Because Carlo Ancelotti used Cruz, he used Camavinga, but none of those players' best abilities are focused in the defensive midfield role. They can do a job, but it's not good for the team. It's not good for those players. They cannot express themselves when they are playing in that deep. And so with Tchouameni, our midfield is almost complete. And I would say if we look in defense, our defense is almost complete too. We just are missing that world class right side fullback. Carvajal on his day in his day is world class, but that day has become few and far between now. He has become injury prone, and we have Vasquez as a backup who was never really right-sided fullback. He has played all his life as a right-sided winger and a right-sided midfielder if push comes to shove. But because our board for some reason gave Vasquez the contract extension last season, in the beginning of last season, um, it we have to use him now in some capacity because we bumped his pay. He got a pay rise. He is earning a lot more than what he was earning before, and even if we want to sell him, we'll have to practically give him away and even subsidize some of his wages because no one would want to go for him with that kind of wages. And we already took a massive L when it came to Luka Jovic. He went to Fiorentina for free, and we even paid some of the wages owed to him, and that's massive failure in our transfer dealings already. We sold Kubo around 6 million euros to Real Sociedad for 50% of his rights, which I think is a really good business because of the passport related issues. Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Militao, none of them have Spanish passports, and they are all occupying the non EU spots. And so we need some we cannot really sign or keep someone in the squad who doesn't have a EU passport or a Spanish passport. And so it's a good decision because the loans were not working for Kubo. I don't know, maybe he was not settling, maybe the managers, coaches of those teams didn't really give him the fair enough opportunities and didn't make that, didn't didn't use them to their full capabilities, because there's always in the back of their mind that he is leaving at the end of the season, so they didn't bet on him. And now that we have sold him for 50% of his rights, the team that bought him will bet on him, will develop him. Real Sociedad is really good at developing players, so I think that's a really good deal. With Tony Rudiger, it bolsters our defense by a lot, and it's a magnificent signing. Now we have some depth in our center half, center back areas. We have Militao, we have Alaba, we have Rudiger. We are hearing some noise that maybe Alaba will play as a left-sided fullback, left back, and Mendy will be the substitute. But I think it won't be the case always, because Mendy is a magnificent defensive fullback, and there will be matches when we will need his expertise in defense to contain some of the attacking fullbacks and attacking wingers. So we will need him a lot. But David Alaba, he is the superior when it comes to going forward, and he has shown that even from the center of the defense. So having depth in both the center half and the left-sided fullback position is really good, because the depth last season we had was from Mendy to Marcelo, and from Militao, Alaba to Nacho, and then to Vallejo was not good enough, was not really good enough. That was our weakest positions, I would say, because from Mendy to Marcelo is a legend, is was a great player, but to be honest, he was nowhere near the level required to be a Real Madrid backup player. He needed to be replaced sooner rather than later. And Nacho, as reliable as he is, ever reliable, the quality drop off from Militao and Alaba to Nacho was noticeable, and from Nacho to Vallejo was drastic. So with the addition of Rudiger, it gives us room to maneuver when we need to give Mendy rest. We need to replace Mendy in some matches. Now we have Alaba to help him there, and when if for some reason we need to give our center half partnerships a little bit of rest, or somehow one is unfit, or we need to mix it up a little bit, we have three really capable defenders in Rudiger, in Alaba, and in Milito. In the right-sided area, where there's the problem with Carvajal injury prone and Vasquez not being a real fullback. With Odriozola, Real Madrid wants to sell him permanently, but we haven't been receiving any offers so far. And Carvajal and Odriozola himself wants to stay. He wants to stay and fight for his place. And I really like this player, Alvaro Odriozola. He is his attitude. He has never really made anything difficult for the team. He understands that he has some deficiencies in his game. He tries really hard. He works hard, and he has the mindset to learn. And I would say that that kind of player who doesn't mind being the backup, and with Alvaro or with Carvajal getting injured every now and then, Vasquez not being a natural fullback, I would keep Alvaro Odriozola for this season. He is really good when it comes to the other side of the pitch, which is attacking. He is a really good attacking fullback. His defensive work, his defense needs a lot more work. But if we are playing, suppose Alaba, Rudiger, Militao, two of them in defense, and with Mendy too, and with Courtois, we can give Odriozola some minutes on the right-sided fullback. But if we are playing Alaba, we shouldn't be playing Odriozola on the other side, because it's too. It feels like too attacking for me. But with Carvajal, Odriozola, and Vasquez, we have our right hand side fullback area somewhat covered. So, and with in the midfield, with the addition of Chouameni, and as we are not still getting any offers for Ceballos, because Real Betis somehow they don't have even 10 million euros. They want the player, but they won't even be 10 million euros, which is the asking price, 10 to 15 million euros from Real Madrid. And they are hoping Real Madrid gives him away for free, like they did for Jovic, and that set a really bad precedent. And that's why I think these clubs are looking for handouts now from Real Madrid, like, we cannot afford, and so give him for almost for a free or a nominal fee. I think if they are not really looking to part with some fees, around 10 million euros at the very least. We should keep him for depth in the midfield area, because I think if with the addition of Chouameni and with the money that we paid for him, he is never going to be used as a backup to Casemiro. That's not possible, because that's almost one of our most expensive signings. So I think he will play alongside Casemiro. So we will be playing with almost four midfielders this season, I think, and with three backups, seven midfielders for four positions. I think that's a good depth. That's quality depth. I would keep Ceballos if we don't get an offer of around 10 million euros at the very least. Now let's come to our attacking position. We have Benzema, and that's it. We let Jovic go for free. We are looking to anyhow get Mariano offloaded. Anyhow, like, some teams are showing interest in him, but he doesn't like those teams. His wage demand is pretty high compared to the skill set that he brings to the table, and he really thinks that he is a top quality striker, I think, because he is not happy with the teams that are showing interest in him. He didn't want to leave last season when I don't remember the team, Mallorca, I think, were bidding for him in the deadline day, but he was adamant that he isn't going to leave, and so he stayed. Now we are hearing some teams are bidding for him, but his wage demands are high, and so and so as long as he doesn't see a project or a team that interests him and gives him the wage he's after, he's not going to move. So and Real Madrid, the board is also looking to offload Mayoral. They are looking for 10 million euros for him. If an offer doesn't arrive, then Mayoral is going to stay too. There are some interest in Mayoral, but we'll have to see. And we have a striker from the Castilla. He is Latasa, and Ancelotti. It's reported that Ancelotti is keen on him. He likes him. So we will see how it goes. We have Mariano Latasa Mayoral as backup for now, which doesn't really inspire confidence in the fan base. But that's our situation for now. As long as we cannot really offload some of them, like Mariano, I don't think the board is going to go for backup to Benzema. They will just run for it. And with the noise that we are getting, Hazard is being trying and being used, trying. Ancelotti is trying to use Hazard as the false nine and stuff like that. I think Ancelotti sees that it's tough to get rid of Mariano. It's tough to sell Mariano, and he doesn't really rate Mayoral and Mariano like that. So he is looking for alternative when Benzema needs some rest and stuff like that. So he is trying Hazard as the false nine. On the left side, we have Vinicius. That side is locked in for him. And for backup, as we are, there are reports that if an offer arrives for Hazard, we will let him go. But with the kind of wages that Hazard is earning here, no one is going to go for him. Even if some team wants to take him, we'll have to pay half of his wages. That's how it goes. And that's not profitable for Real Madrid. So I think Vinicius on the left wing and Hazard as his backup will be the way how it goes this season. On the right hand side, we have Rodrigo and Asensio. Rodrigo is staying. I think it could be a season where he is used more, where he is the one who will be relied upon a lot more than last season. We are actively looking to sell Asensio. AC Milan is showing some interest. There are supposedly some interest from the Premier League, but no one wants to pay the asking price Real Madrid is asking for. That's 30 million euros, and AC Milan really isn't keen on the wages Asensio is asking for, which is reportedly 5 million euros net per year or something like that. So I think it will be tough to tough to sell Asensio too, because he hasn't really lit the world alight last season. He is always inconsistent, scoring a goal. One match he plays really well, then the next 3, 4, 5 match he is invisible again, doing the bare minimum. So I think with the addition of Chouameni and with us having 7 quality midfielders, 6 of them could be starter in any of the team of the world. We will be looking to play a more midfield heavy team with 4 midfielders. So there will be 2 attacking positions up for grabs, and sometimes Rodrigo playing as the third attacking player. So I think we are set for the next season if we still don't add another attacking player for the right hand side, because from whatever the board whatever is coming from the media and the mouthpieces of the board, I think the targets we were looking for was Mbappe and Mbappe only. After that one was scraped off, how it went down. We are not really looking for anything unless it's it's a player that is really Unless it's a player that really is world class level player. We have been hearing rumors about Gnabry from Bayern, who recently renewed with Bayern. Then we heard some rumors about Sane, that he was offered to Real Madrid, but we are not keen because his best position is left wing, and we already have Vinicius in for the left wing position. We heard some rumors about Gabriel Jesus, but he signed for Arsenal and he doesn't have an EU passport anyway, so that was a no go. So there were some rumors and there were some names, but none of them really attracts the Real Madrid hierarchy. They're not really keen on them. They will go for players they are sure can um, make an impact in the team, like a Chouameni, like a Rudiger. They won't go for short fixes and hoping for the best, like the Jovic's. After the window of Jovic, Hazard, and the kind of monstrous flop these two signings were, I think if you count in Mariano in there, the earlier season, that was I think the board has been burned by these signings, and they are being really careful to add players into the team. But saying that, there are reports that if we are able to offload Asensio, Mariano, Mayoral, these players, at least two of them, we will go for another attacking player. It could be a backup for Benzema, it could be a right-sided attacking player, but we will add another player if we can offload two of them. So I think it has been I would say it has been a productive window for us so far. We got burned by the Mbappe saga, the whole fan base, but it is what it is. But with the quality addition of Rudiger and Chouameni, our defense and midfield is totally set. We have Casemiro, Chouameni, Camavinga, Valverde, Modric, Cruz, and Ceballos. That's an enviable midfield. Really, we have to take full advantage of that midfield with the quality of Camavinga, Valverde, Chouameni, Casemiro, Modric, and Cruz. And if you add Ceballos in there, it's just enviable the kind of midfield we have, and we have to take full advantage of that midfield. We cannot leave three of those players on the bench. We have to use at least four of them in our starting 11, and with the two or three of them coming from the bench. We have to take full advantage of the five substitutions and take full advantage of our bench. We have quality depth in midfield and attack, and we have some kind of quality depth with Hazard and Rodrigo. We should be good to go for the season to come, and I think our fan base need to stop being dramatic on that topic. Like the I understand that the goals from Benzema, we are relying on Benzema and Vinicius, but I'm hoping Rodrigo can add more goals to his game. The kind of form he showed towards the end of the season, the kind of goals he scored against Chelsea, against Manchester City, and took us to the final. I think with the confidence that gave him, and with more time, more experience, I'm hoping he would contribute to more goals. And with the addition of Rudiger and Chouameni, and with 1 year under the belt of Camavinga too, I think we can expect a little bit more goals from our defense and our midfield, because with the physical presence of Rudiger and Chouameni in the opposition box, we can expect that we will get some more goals from corners and set pieces now, because that has been our weak point after Cristiano and Ramos left, we had only Benzema um, as the player who can head the balls in. And so, with the addition of Rudiger and Tchouaméni, our threat from set pieces are better now. So I'm hoping for more goals from there. Our team isn't perfect, but I wouldn't be panicking, or I wouldn't be unsatisfied if we do not buy another attacking player this window. But we will buy one if we can offload the aforementioned Asensio and Mariano. If we cannot afford, I understand why the board won't go for another one, because we have to look at just the other way, the kind of financial ruin it brought to Barcelona. They are selling their TV rights for the next 25 years, around 25% of their TV rights, to facilitate the transfer fees and the wages of the players this season. And that's making the Real Madrid fan base anxious, that they are adding Lewandowski, Rafinha. There is talks of Koundé. They added Casey and Christensen as free transfer, and they are adding some quality, I would say. But it's because they were in such a bad position that they had to do something. They had to. I was thinking that maybe they will ride the wave with Champions League football. Maybe they will lay low for a couple of seasons and then get back into strong financial positions and then go again. But with this president Laporta, he wants to show that he is the man. He is the one who is getting Barcelona back on the map again. So he doesn't care what he leaves behind after 4 years for the next president to clear his mess when he leaves. And believe it, when you're selling of 25% of the rights of your TV rights for the next 25 years, it's going to affect your business down the line. So let them have their transfer window win. We have our La Liga and Champions League, and we are a little bit content for now. But Real Madrid is never content for next season. This season our objective is already winning La Liga and Champions League again, and of course we will go for it. But our board has taken a more sensible approach for this season, only adding quality and not going for players who can do a job but won't be the long-term aspirations of the team. So I think it's been a productive window so far, and hopefully we can offload Asensio, Mariano, and add another attacker to make the fan base calm down, as well as have more options up front. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. See you in my next video.